This is going to be one of several series of videos. Many of the women I see online, and this is not all, but many who are in these discussions, they want a high value man, right? What's a high value man? He's loyal, he's strong, he has a great work ethic, he's a provider, looks good. That always helps, right? So yeah, like he fills all the boxes. But what you're not remembering, or what you're not cognizant of, is you want to make sure that you are a high value woman. Well, what is a high value woman? Well, what it doesn't only consist of is good looks, sex, and fertility. I mean, if you can't offer more than good looks, sex, and fertility, then you are not looking at the full spectrum of a high value woman is. So society or social media has been drilling this concept of like women these days, where it's almost infantile, where women are set to believe that a man is just supposed to pick them up if they're cute, take care of them, give them this luxurious life, and also while he's making money to take care of you, he's supposed to pick up the phone and rush to text you back whenever you want him to. And this is not a realistic way of thinking about a relationship. It's very draining, it's very time consuming, and it's also very toxic. All right, that sort of mindset is not set in reality. So let's get more into depth of what's actually necessary if you do want to put yourself out there as a high value woman. Let's talk about one scenario. Let's talk about the scenario where, like a lot of you feel like you should be able to be stay at home, be a stay at home mom, wife, what have you. What's really involved with that, right? So let's say you have kids, right? Marriage is a partnership, right? Marriage means that you two are working together in order to sustain and help that household to thrive. What some women are not understanding is that a household is like a business. That household is existing within an economy, and there's certain behaviors and a certain mindset that has to exist in order for that household to not only survive the economic times, but also to thrive, especially when you're talking about children. So let's talk about what that entails. So marriage requires two grown people who are willing to handle their business. So if your husband, boyfriend, whatever has decided that, I'm going to work, you take care of our child, that's great, right? Because not a lot of men will do that. That's huge. So what's your role in this? Well, I had the baby. I take care of the baby. Lots of people take care of babies, right? Babies do not take 24 hours of the day. So it is part of your role as a woman to take care of the house, to clean the house, to cook, right? If you don't know how to cook, then you can learn how to cook. But if that's the role that you want to adopt, then those are the responsibilities that come with it. And let me explain why. It's not just for the show of it. If that man is going out every day and he's working, he's providing, right? When he comes home, he's going to have to recharge. He's a human being. In order for him to recharge, the house should be a clean energy space. Your job as the woman, and I'm going to say it, is to nurture. You're nurturing the child. You're nurturing your breadwinner, right? Making sure that he's fed. How else is that going to happen if, how's he going to recharge fully if he's doing the work outside of the home for several hours out of the day, and then he's coming home and he's fulfilling what should be your set of chores, right? Again, it's a partnership. It's a semi-business. If two partners or three partners in a business, one of them decides that they don't want to do what's necessary, it's going to take from the other two or the other partner that exists in that business relationship. And the same thing stands for the household. If we decide to stay at home, it's not just about us sitting up there and him buying us purses and and then we play with the baby and the baby lies there and we look at the baby and wake up and wait for the baby to wake up and then play with the baby. No, we are handling our business by taking care of the household. That's what it is, if that's the specific relationship that you two have agreed upon, right? There's other relationship dynamics or agreements that we're going to talk about down the line, but let's talk about the one that I hear a lot of women want, right? Those are your responsibilities. And since when is it a chore to clean? You don't want a clean home? That's actually a sign of mental illness. So be careful. Be careful with that, because that could be a slippery slope. As a mother, we have to create a certain environment for our children. Let's not talk about the husband right now. Let's not talk about the boyfriend right now. As a mother, we have to create a certain environment for the children. The children are watching us. They're watching how we take care of the home, how we take care of their environment. But when you agree to be in a relationship with somebody and they're taking care of you, that's honestly the least that you can do. So cook, clean, yes, in addition to taking care of your child that you have together with the man. So these things are not out of place. These things are not, like, they're normal things when you decide that you want a man who's going to take care of you. It is what it is. And if you can also find a home hustle, where you can bring extra income, do that as well. Believe you me, we all make time for the things that we want to do. If you really want to be committed, if you really want to be a partner in this with your man, these are the things that you will do, especially if you want your household and your children to be able to have more than a fair chance at doing well in school and extracurricular activities and in every opportunity that may come their way. You want to make sure that the house is existing as a strong business, right? Let's talk about the business aspect with the money. So your husband, your boyfriend is the breadwinner, right? One of the things that we're supposed to do to help our mates is be responsible with how we spend money. The money that your breadwinner makes is not limitless, and we have to be aware of that. So finding different ways to save, not being another child in a household and just spending all of the money that he's making, right? If he's trying to make a better life for the family, which is what a provider does, then what you can do is you can help by living within a budget, right? Saving here and there where you can and making a conscious effort to support his role of providing for the family. Maybe you don't have an income, but you can help by finding ways to help save money so he's not, repeating the same steps instead of moving forward. That's one thing that you can do as a partner in a relationship. So I know you all have heard the term or whatever, men are the head and women are the neck. And that's true, but not in the way that I've seen a lot of women use it. Like they use it in a more manipulating manner. What it means is the environment that we provide, the way we think as women, the way we handle the household, the way we take care of the children, all of that impacts what and how that breadwinner is able to provide, right? If we provide peace in that household, if we provide a clean, nice energy home for him, cook his food and nurture him, guess what? He can recharge, first of all. He can be at peace while he's recharging. He can gather his thoughts. And the next day he can face the world with a clear mindset, right? That's the first thing. If you're not providing peace, if you're not helping him towards his goals, if you're just throwing money away, if you're being very careless about what he is doing and not being appreciative of what he is providing, guess what? That's going to cause stress. And believe it or not, even with the hardest working person in the world, that stress can either shorten the amount of years that he's able to provide, create a situation where he can get sick or hurt if he's distracted, and because he's not in a household that's working with him, is sort of working against him. There's many ways in which not providing those things can impact really the person who your lifestyle is in his hands. Understand that everything that you have, everything that you eat, the house, the babies, all of that, all depend on this one person. So if everything you have depends on this one person, why wouldn't you want to take care of them? I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together, and some of y'all coming up with 1.5, and it's like it's not logical, right? If that man is doing everything for you and your lifestyle is totally dependent on that man, why wouldn't you want to reciprocate and make sure that he's taken care of? And not even speaking only from a business aspect, because from a business aspect that makes total sense. But if you want to be, somebody's wife one day, or their significant other partner for life, you have to have a certain level of humanity and empathy and compassion and actually care about that person, right? So they're not just the breadwinner. It's supposed to be a relationship. So if you are a normal functioning woman with no sort of like toxic issues or diagnoses, then you should be able to feel for this person who's taking care of you. It should come to your mind, you know what, this person works really, really hard. Let me make sure I do everything in this household so when he comes home, he feels rested, he's fed, he doesn't have to worry about anything, and he can get his rest for the next day, knowing that his home is a safe haven and it's taken care of for him. Even on that mindset. So instead of this whole me thing, which is very toxic because it doesn't represent any sort of reciprocity, we need to focus more on actually taking care of each other, right? Whatever the situation is, even if you both work, how do we take care of each other so that we both can exist and thrive and do well for our family? So that's really what it is at the end of the day. But let's get back to the business, because it seems like that's the only thing people can really understand, even if they don't have the emotional competency to understand and help their mate on a love level, because maybe they are toxic, maybe they are narcissistic, but based on your ability to survive, your breadwinner is supplying everything for you. I mean, how are you not committing to your responsibilities, which is to take care of the house and the children, when he's a total provider? Make it make sense, please, because I'm not understanding. So if you're just spending money like a child, I'm gonna call it what it is. I'm calling a spade a spade. If you can't control yourselves and you're spending money like a child and you think it's a joke that you're spending money while your mate is working hard, then you are a disservice to not only on the business aspect of the household, but to the growth and the potential success of your kids and your household in general. You are holding your family back. That's basically what it is. And if you can't see that, if you can't wrap your brain around that, that's another reason why, baby girl, you're not ready. You are not ready. So a lot of you have this mindset where you're like, you think that marriage is, you put on a pretty dress, people throw rice at you, or you can't throw rice because it kills the birds, whatever, right? You think it's this day where, do a dance, right? And then you're sitting at home and, and that's that. Like, I'm taking care of the babies, I'm playing with the babies. No, this is a business. It's a business. It's supposed to be carved out of love, and nowadays it's not the way it was years ago, right? Where it was only about business, but it's still about business because your household still has to thrive within an economy. So you have to have a business mindset. You have to think, well, I wanted to get this outfit, but do I really need it? Not that you can't get nice things, but you want to be reasonable, because remember, everything that you have is dependent upon one person. That one person is doing everything as a service of love. What's your service of love? What's your act of service? Are you going to spend so that he has to work harder, or the money that he's making can be allocated towards goals that will further the family? Or are you going to think about it as, okay, let me do my best to save so I can actually help make his money go further? Are you going to grow his money? Are you going to grow his money, or are you going to be a leech, a parasite, and suck that man dry? Okay, are you going to be a leech, a parasite, and drain him? Is what you want to ask yourself. Because if you do that, then you could potentially hurt the person who, again, your lifestyle and everything that you eat depends on them. And for those of you who don't want to clean, I saw something the other day, and it talked about how we have so many things to do. I'm a mom as well. Like, cooking, cleaning seems like a never-ending list of things to do, the laundry. But you know what? Aren't you grateful for the fact that you have a home to clean? Aren't you grateful for the fact that you have dishes to clean? Aren't you grateful for the fact that you have food to cook? There are people who don't have those things, but here you are, you have somebody who's providing all of that for you. At the very least, it's about being grateful and understanding that you have the ability to even live a lifestyle like that. So again, if you want that role of, being somebody's wife one day and being able to stay home with your children, there's a mindset that goes with it. You have to be a grown-ass woman who is willing to commit to a role where you and your partner are supporting each other. No, your husband is not, or your boyfriend is not just supposed to support you. Money-wise, maybe. But in terms of the dynamic that you create in that household, the environment that you provide, all of that matters. And if you want to, show some sort of value, these are the things that you have to do. And some of you are like, oh, well, she's talking about us, in a traditional sense. But you want a traditional relationship. You're asking for a man to take care of you. So guess what? The traditional duties come with it. I said it. And I stand 10 toes down on that, because that's exactly what it is. To expect anything else is just like you're not using all your marbles. You're not looking at it in a logical manner. So, all the high values and, you want this and you want that. Think about what you're asking for and make sure you're up to that commitment. And it's not one day of doing these things. It's not a week. It's lifelong. You are committed to creating, love/business with this person long term. Do not ask for marriage or think that you should have marriage if you don't understand the deeper aspects. And men, come a little closer. You have to start asking questions. You have to start having conversations with women. You can't be getting caught up with the superficial. You have to ask questions. Where is this person's mindset? How do they reciprocate love? What are their goals, right? What are their plans to grow? You really have to start asking these questions because, again, it's not only about who's going to have your baby. It's not only about who decides to stay with you longer. What are they contributing while they're staying with you? What are they contributing as the mother of your children? These are things you have to think about because lots of our men are dying before women. Why do you think that is? There's a lot of stress that's involved as a provider. So make sure that you're understanding certain mindsets are very toxic and to stay away from them, right? Ask those questions. If you don't get the answers that you're looking for, you can give some people time to grow. Some people are not about growth. They are insistent on staying the way that they are and finding somebody who will crumble to what they want. So this is a message to both the women who want this lifestyle and the men who want a wife. Just make sure you're picking the right mindset for a wife, or you're going to subject yourself and your family to a lifelong time of upheaval and struggle, because he who finds a good woman finds a good thing, but he who finds a scatterbrain will lose his mind. And toxicity, irresponsible spending habits, selfish, not looking at you as the human being that you are, not appreciating the fact that you're providing, all of that is very toxic, borderline narcissistic. So be very careful when you're speaking with women and make sure that you have your questions and you're having these important conversations, because how your life turns out is really, really dependent on who you choose to be your mate. That's it. I hope I was helpful, and let me know what else you want to talk about and we can chop it up. But until then, enjoy your day and this schizophrenic weather. Take care.